Insane, you make me crazy, insane, that's how I feel, insane, you make me crazy, insane, that's how I feel.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Dysfunction Junction. I'm your host, Kim, and you are listening to episode 22. Thank you guys so much for listening. So to start the show off, I just want to apologize for my little mommy meltdown last week. I know I'm the first person out there to, completely just think her world is crap. And that's what I was going through last week. I was going through a very emotional time. Things were very stressful. And my release, some people release is to eat or to not eat or to clean or, whatever it is. My release is to cry and bitch and moan and complain about how much my life sucks. So now that I've done that, I feel a lot better. But I just, I wanted to apologize for, maybe bringing down the feel of the show. But I still stand by everything I said in last week's episode. I, truly feel those things, and it's just something that I have to deal with and work on. So I am doing that. Another thing I want to do really quickly is I want to give a shout out to my little niece Della, who is 1 year old today. Happy birthday, Della. Tell mommy to, share my podcast with her friends. Don't keep it all to herself. I have very interesting things to say, whether you think they're interesting or not. Jamie, or whatevs. Anyway, my week has, been pretty decent. Work, kids, husband, same old drama. So I'm just going to jump right into the podcast today. I do have a couple of things that I do want to talk about, and I have a big list, and I think I just got out of here. So I'm trying out a couple of new, segments for the show, and you tell me what you think. So I already have Famously Failing, which is I personally enjoy. So another one that I'm working on is called The News You Didn't Know You Needed. And I'll be working. Yeah, I'm gonna get on the the music for that little segment right after I get the Famously Failing one going. I'm working on it, people. So here we go. So the news you didn't know you needed is basically going to be about some weird or wild news that, you didn't know you needed to hear. But then once you did hear it, you are very happy that you heard it. So the first story I am bringing to you, and I actually heard this on another show that I listened to called Brilliant Observations. So if you like podcasts and you like listening to good podcasts, and you would like to have a good laugh, check out Brilliant Observations. They are very funny. So this story comes, I don't even know when this happened. I think it, May 18th. This is when May 18th of this year. So it was a couple months ago. So a family goes to a museum, and the family, I guess, was there they went to a wedding reception in Kansas, and they visited a little museum. And at this museum, according to the video, and I will post it in my show notes, it looks like a pretty big room that the kids are in, the kids and the moms, and the moms are sitting down on these chairs in the middle of the room, and they've got statues and some art up, and the moms, there's 3 ladies there. I don't know if they're all moms, but there's 3 ladies there sitting, and they're chatting, and they're looking at magazines, and you see these 2 boys that are running in and out of the video. They're running around this big room. So now keep in mind, if they went to a wedding. These kids have probably tried to be on their best behavior this whole time. Maybe they're just getting out all this energy. So then you see one of the boys. I don't know if you guys just heard that or not. Let's hope not. Hold on. Pause. Oh my God. No. What is happening? Oh my God. So bad things are happening. Oh my God. Am I still recording? I'm still recording. Oh yeah. Bad things are happening. And you know me, I don't edit videos. I don't edit too much on my podcast. So you're going to hear that. Sorry. Anyway, so in the video, the ladies are sitting there watching or looking at a magazine, talking to each other. The kids are running in and out of the, out of camera view. And one of the little boys is climbing up one of the statues. It's a statue of a woman. It's a bust. And he literally grabs the statue, and then it starts to come over on top of him. Now, granted, see, Mom is still sitting. She's still sitting. She's not looking at the boys. She's not wondering where they are. And then the statue falls, right? And even then, the mom still kind of sits in her seat. She doesn't like bolt up and say, oh my God, what's going on? She like just nonchalantly gets up, walks over there. Of course, the two little boys feet it out of there. They just take off. They're out of there. They're taking off. The mom calls somebody over, probably a coworker, somebody who works there or whatever, calls them over, and then she goes and sits back down. She sits back down, and she doesn't even go check on her kid. She doesn't check on her kid. She doesn't talk to anybody. I mean, that's the video that's going on. She literally goes back and sits down and starts looking at her magazine again. So now, apparently, the museum wasn't even going to give the mother a bill. But what they were going to do, what they did do, was put a claim in at the insurance company. Well, then the insurance company sends the mom a bill for $132,000 for the glass sculpture that the kid knocked over. So the question on Brilliant Observations was, do you think the mom should have to pay for this sculpture? Because she says that she's being harassed now. People are calling her on the phone. People are, attacking her on Facebook. Or I don't know how people, first of all, I don't even know how people are getting her phone number, how these strange people are getting her phone number. It's not just, people don't really, they call on her house phone? Do people even have house phones anymore? I do. I have a house phone, but we're not listed. But I don't know. I don't know why people will be calling her at home. It's much easier to harass somebody on Facebook or any other social media. Anyway, so I guess the mom is saying, yeah, I'm not paying for that. They're saying that the reason why they're giving her a bill is because she was negligent. So what do you guys think? Look at the video. Tell me what you think. Do you think she was negligent? I think that accidents do happen. They happen quickly, but the mom isn't watching these kids. She's not, getting up and checking on them every now and then. She's not, yelling at them, telling them to knock it off. Listen, even if this did happen so quickly and so fast, I don't get why she's allowing them to run around a museum unsupervised. Now, let me tell you a story. Let's see. Caden was a baby. He was in a stroller. And we went to our museum, the big one, that we have around us in Portland. And the minute you go in there, they have people standing up, security standing near things. There's signs saying, you can't cross this line. You can't take pictures. We weren't there 30 minutes and we were spoken to 3 times. And basically, it was suggested that we do something else on that Saturday, that maybe something else somewhere else would be more fun for the kids, so that they didn't have, they couldn't, my kids, they're touchers. They like to touch stuff. They want to pick things up. They want to see how it's made. They want to see how it works. And that's a no-no at a museum. So I don't know where any other, people were when this is going on, but unfortunately, that really sucks that you got charged $132,000 for that sculpture. But I think she has to pay. I think she's responsible. To me personally, I get accidents happen. And if it happened to me, I would be absolutely horrified. But it didn't happen to me. So, thank God. Anyway, so that is my story number 1 of the news you didn't know you needed. And now story number 2. Story number 2 comes from, let's see. And again, you know me, I'm unprepared. My computer is taking forever. I don't know why it's taking so long. But anyway, so this story comes from, where is this guy from? Memphis, Tennessee. So a Memphis guy is facing child abuse charges after the police say he let his 12-year-old son get behind the wheel and drive his car. And he crashed it. He crashed the car, he hit the curb, and then he hit the neighbor's fence, and then the parked car. So, first of all, I guess this isn't even the shocking part to me. Not the fact that he let his son drive his car. The shocking part for me is when I saw this story on my feed, right, that I have sent to me. And I saved it on my phone. So now that I'm on my laptop, I, went to go find this story. So the shocking part wasn't that this happened. The shocking part to me was like, it happens every year. There's like 6 or 7 years in a row where dads have let their kids drive their car and the kids have crashed it. Why are dads so stupid? I get maybe you want to let your kid drive a car. Do it on a back country road. You don't go out, number 1, at night in the city, in public, where people can see you. Come on. What is wrong with you people? I was 19 when I got my license, and I was a hot frickin' mess. A mess. So I don't know why these guys think it's so cool to let your 12-year-old drive. There was a 9-year-old that came up. There was like a 14-year-old came up. This can be really dangerous. Teaching your kids how to drive you're taking your life into your own hands. It's really risky. I mean, I've driven with my sons, and they don't take criticism well, for number 1. So if you're telling them, okay, you're getting a little bit close to the edge, or, you're crossing the line, they're like, stop yelling at me. I can't concentrate when you're yelling at me. It's like, oh my gosh, settle down. Nobody's yelling at you. However, I didn't do too well when I did do my driver's test in the first try, but when I was learning to drive, I didn't do very well. I failed driver's ed, and I didn't pay attention at all. I had wicked bad ADHD, which I didn't know at the time, but I didn't pay attention. And so my dad was trying to teach me how to drive, and that was stressful. He took me out to a back road to practice, and I almost killed us. Thank God he took the emergency brake and was able to stop stuff. But for whatever reason, my mom took me out, and I felt good with her. It was a lot less stress. I don't know why. Go figure. We're not each other's biggest fans right now, but I learned how to driving with my mom, and I haven't driven into one Dunkin' Donuts, not yet. She can't say that, but I can. So there. That is my news you didn't know you needed. If you have a story that you want to talk about on the Dysfunction Junction podcast, please let me know. You can send it to me at dysfunkjunk7@gmail.com. You can leave me a SpeakPipe message on my website. My website is www.dfpodcast.com. That's D as in dog, F as in Frank. You can hit me up on all my social media pages. I'm on the Twitter, on the Facebook, on the Instagram. You got it on there. Look me up. And tell me about a story that you think would be good on the news you didn't know you needed. Amazeballs. So, segment number two. Segment number two is another way that I can vent my frustrations because after last episode, I need an outlet. So, this is called Kim's Pet Peeves. And when I do the sound for that, I'm hoping it's going to be Kim's pet peeves. Hey, I'm not fancy, okay? It's just, what I got. And that's it. So suck it. So, Kim's Pet Peeves is stuff that I talk about that drives me absolutely nuts. Stupid stuff that I encounter where I really wish I could kind of punch that person in the throat. Okay? Okay. So, my pet peeve of the week is this. I hate it when people do not post pictures of their kids on Facebook because, now, don't get me wrong. If you don't want to put your kid on Facebook, that's fine. You have every right to do that. You don't have to be on Facebook. You don't have to be on any social media. But just say that. I just don't want my kid on. I just don't want to put my kid on, on the internet. It's just not something I don't go on the internet, just not my thing. That's fine. Don't use the excuse that I don't want to put her on Facebook or Instagram because she didn't ask to be on it. She didn't ask to be on Instagram, okay? So I'm not going to put her on there and just exploit her like that. Okay. I think that's ridiculous. That's like saying, I'm not going to get my kid circumcised because I think he should choose. All right. If you knew, guys out there, if you're listening, would you want to be able to remember your circumcision? Is that something you really want to remember? Or would you rather just be a baby and just have it done and never ever remember it? I mean, and people are going to say, well, all you got to do is teach them to clean it. It's BS. Because you teach them to brush their teeth too, and they don't do it. They don't do it. You teach them to take a shower and clean their bodies. They don't. They stand in the shower, maybe under the water if you're lucky, and then sometimes they don't even use soap. I know that's an old joke that Bill Cosby used to say, but that is the truth. It's the truth. They just stand in there. At least, especially when you have kids who have autism or somewhere on the spectrum, you have to be very specific. And if you don't say, stand in the water, use the soap, rinse the soap off, then they're going to come out with soap still on. And then tell me, you didn't tell me I had to rinse it off. So you teach a kid who has circumcision, I know I'm getting on another rant, who is not circumcised, and tell him to clean it, they're not going to clean it. Then you're going to end up with stuff that's bad, very bad. It's like with religion. I want my child to pick their own religion. That's wonderful. But before that happens, they need something to go on. They need some sort of spirituality. They need some sort of start, And I baptized my kids Catholic. And I didn't even attend church regularly except on Easter and Christmas Eve. And that's it. But I wanted them to have something. And as they get older, if they want to change, I hope they don't. because as you guys know, we are raising our kids Christian. If they want to change, they want to be something else, then that's up to them. But at least, they have, some knowledge of this religion and if it's for them or not for them. I don't like that. Just say you didn't want to do it. You didn't want to do it. You didn't want to, you don't want your kids on the internet. That's fine. And also don't say that you don't want your face on the internet because identity theft. All right. They don't care what you look like. Your picture has nothing to do with identity theft. All right. Or communism. The commies aren't looking at you. Okay. You're not that important. Anybody who the FBI or any federal people are looking at, I hope to God they're not stupid enough to have a Facebook page or an Instagram. They're not looking at you. They don't care. Most people do not care. I mean, come on. I'm at we had a water baptism today at church, and it was amazing. We had 3 people baptized today. We had a young girl, we had a teenager, and a young adult, and it was amazing. And I just wanted to take pictures and, just show everybody how proud we were, And some people were like, I don't want my picture taken. The internet, the communists are going to see me on there. Oh my gosh, no one's going to see you. Nobody cares. You're really not that important. My goodness gracious. Anyway, so that is my pet peeve of the week. I wonder if that pet peeve is the news you didn't know you needed. The news you didn't know you needed. So you guys, what do you think? What do you think? Do you guys like those new segments on my show? I think they're pretty cool. I know, I'm a little rusty. I know. But listen, too bad, so sad, you're dead. Okay, so my last segment of the show. Again, tell me what you think. If you think this is a cool idea, if you have a pet peeve that you want to share, leave me a SpeakPipe message. I'll play it on the show. If you have, you can send it to me at my Gmail. You can send it to me on Facebook. You can leave it on the website. Let me know, what is your pet peeve? Is your pet peeve the same as my pet peeve? Because girls, boys, I have a lot of pet peeves. I could go on and on and on. I hate a lot of stuff. Just saying. But my final segment of the show, I do not have famous and failing or famously failing this week because apparently no celebrities are failing. At least not in the situation that I care to comment on. Except the fact that Chris Brown is a moron and he's been arrested again. And I wish somebody would just kick his ass and set him straight. What is wrong? Okay, here we go. I guess I do have a famously failing. Famously failing. You are famously failing. Okay, this is it. Chris Brown is a moron. Why would you risk your whole career off of being a douchebag? I mean, come on. You are a talented dude. Why are you being a jackass? Keep your hands to yourself. And I believe that this guy has talked about his mom being, beaten up by his dad when he was a kid. What are you doing? You are going to ruin your entire career because you can't keep your hands to yourself. You need Jesus or counseling or a mental health professional because you're throwing your life away. You really need to snap out of it. You have a child now, I believe. And I mean, my God, you messed it up with Rihanna. You had Rihanna. You know how many guys would kill to have Rihanna, and you messed it up because you couldn't keep your hands to yourself. You're a moron. But listen, he's Chris Brown. He's not listening to this show. He's in jail right now, probably. So, whatever. So stupid. Why do these people who have all these talents, God gave you such a wonderful gift, and you're ruining it? You're just ruining it. It's like a slap in the face to Jesus. I mean, if I could sing like that, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You could just be doing so much good in the world. And you're just ruining it. You know, I say like, even about my kids, you know, if they use their powers for good, how much good things they could do. I know I'm stuttering. I have nothing. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm wrapping it up again, and I'm trying to get back on focus. And we are going to talk about segment number 3, and that is called Keto Korner. As you guys know, I am on the keto diet. Last month, I went 30 days. I made a deal with my daughter not to weigh myself. But I did keto for 30 days, and I didn't lose anything, but I didn't gain anything either. I didn't count calories. I just focused on really listening to my body. Oh, and there's my dog. You're going to be hearing her because I'm not editing that out either. Daddy must be home. He had to go pick up the boys from work. My boys have been working their bums off this summer. Thank goodness, because Mom and Dad are broke. They didn't bring in the money. Anyway, back to Keto Korner. Like I said, I was trying to concentrate on listening to my body and, trying to only eat when I'm hungry. And I have a problem of, eating when I'm not hungry just because it tastes good. And I have a problem with stopping eating when I'm full. So I've been really working on that. And part of this keto diet, which, maybe you shouldn't call it a diet. I hate calling it a diet around my kids, especially my daughter. But the one thing that I like about it, because it's, you can eat like this forever. It doesn't have to be just temporary. Is that the clarity that I feel, because I really do feel I can think a lot better, number one. Number two, I'm less fatigued. It has been really hot and humid here, so that hasn't helped. But I have not been crashing out for the most part at 7:30 at night, unless you saw the Instagram picture that my son took of me falling asleep with my mouth wide open. Yes, I love him. But also I've noticed that I'm not as hungry as I used to be. I've also been doing intermittent fasting. I started off with eating 3 times a day and fasting for 12 hours. So if I stop eating at 8 o'clock at night, and then 12 hours would be 8 o'clock in the morning, and then 3 meals, no snacking. And there is really more to this whole keto process. I understand it when they tell it to me, but in order, for me to actually say it is difficult to put it into words. But I'm going to work on it, because I think that there are people out here who are listening who would be interested in it, but don't really want to do too much research, which is too bad, because it's really interesting. But basically, every time you eat, you release insulin, and insulin stores fat. So every time you eat too often, it makes you gain weight or store the weight. There's more to that, and I'm sure I'm probably getting that wrong, but all I know is that it's been working for me. I've been cutting back on my carbs. I've been trying to exercise more, but that hasn't really been happening because of my back, but I'm doing the best I can. And these rotten kids, I want to get up. I try to get up early in the morning so that I can maybe do the treadmill before they get up. And the minute, my alarm doesn't even have to go off. The minute I get out of bed to pee, they're up and at that door every day. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait till they go to bed, and maybe my husband and I can go for a walk after they're in bed. No, then they're up till 9 freaking o'clock at night. I'm not walking outside at 9 o'clock at night in the dark because my kids are jerks. They don't want me to lose weight. It's sabotage. Jared used to tell me, I like you squishy, Mommy. Yeah, well, I don't like being squishy. I don't like it. Another thing I don't like is that everybody around in this town is having gastric bypass surgery, and I think that sucks. I think these people are cheating, and I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's cool that I bust my butt for 6-7 years, and I'm stuck here at this weight, and I'm doing everything I can, and you go and you have a surgery, and in 6 months you're at your goal weight. I think that's shitty. Excuse my language, but I do. And I think it's cheating. And I don't have respect for those people. I don't. Because I don't think it's fair. So, I don't know. Call it jealousy. Call it, I don't know what the word I'm thinking of. Spite. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't have to like it. And I'm not going to like it. And I'm going to talk about this again. Because I really enjoy talking about, weight loss and dieting and things that we've tried. There's another segment. I can do not only the Keto Korner, but keto tips on Keto Korner. Tip number 1 for me was baker's chocolate. People are being really loud out there. I'm going to really have to start putting the smack down on some butts. Tip number 1 for me was, because I like to have something a little bit sweet after I've eaten my dinner. And I've learned to love baker's chocolate. I know it's gross. You're going to think it's gross, but it's got very little carbs in it, no sugar. Does it have sugar in it? I don't think so. It's 100% cocoa. If you dip it in the xylitol, now xylitol is a powder, or erythritol powder. It's a sugar substitute that doesn't raise your insulin levels. And if it does, it's very, very, very minute. Nothing that's going to kick you out of ketosis. If you take that chocolate and you dip it into the sugar and eat it, it's amazeballs. And I love it. So that's my tip. Tip of the week. Anyway, so I am going to wrap up this hot mess that I am in. I want to thank you guys for listening, and thank you for riding the Hot Mess Express. I stole that too, but I don't care. I like it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social media pages. You can connect with us on Facebook at facebook.com/dysfuncjunk7. And of course, on our Facebook group page at facebook.com/group/DF podcast. If you prefer Twitter, you can find us at twitter.com/dysfuncjunkmom. And for all you Instagram peeps, you can look us up at instagram.com/dysfuncjunk7. And for the show notes and links to all the things that we talked about today, you can find those on my website, which again is www.dfpodcast.com. And there you can leave a message there. You can leave us a SpeakPipe message. If you have an idea of the news that you didn't know you needed, you can leave it there. If a pet peeve of yours that you want to talk about on the show, you can let me know that too. And at last, but certainly not least, if you ever find it in your heart to donate $1, I would really appreciate it. You can do that at patreon.com/dysfunctionjunction. Because of course, it's free for you, but it is not free for me. So if you would be so kind, if you could donate $1, I'd really, really appreciate that. You can also, I'm not sure if you guys know this, I have an app. Dysfunction Junction has an app. You can find that on the Google Play Store, and it is free. It's free. I like free stuff. Even if I don't need it, I like it. I want it. So if you like what you hear, if you don't like what you hear, share us. Even if you want to tell your friends, listen to this chick. The girl is mad. You have to go listen and see how crazy she is. You can do that. I'm cool with that. But share me. Get me out into the world. I know I'm no, I don't know, NPR or Adam Carolla or any of those other big podcast people. And I know there's quite a bit of them out there. I'm still fun. Right? I have a message. I have stuff to say. I promise I won't have a lot of mommy meltdown moments, but I can't promise that I won't have one again. Maybe that could be a segment on the show. Mommy meltdown moments. Okay. I promise that all of my jingles won't sound like they're from a 60s television show either. All right. I'm out of here. Like I said, thank you for riding the Hot Mess Express. I hope you guys come back next week for another episode of Dysfunction Junction. Bye.
Make me crazy, insane. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Insane. You make me crazy. Make me crazy. Insane. That's how I feel. That's how I feel.